All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am the founder of Body Spartan. Tonight, I am joined by the one, the only, beautiful, lovely, incredible, sexy, smart, delicious, heavenly, like a slice of fucking chocolate that got melted all over your face.
Oh, First Lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft. Hi, guys. What's up? Happy Friday night. It is a Friday night here.
It's officially Black Friday.
And the weekend's here. Time to unwind.
Yeah, I usually don't give
party?
that's pretty cool. I usually don't give the dates of when we do the podcast because sometimes I'm slow to put. Not slow. I just get busy and don't post them right away.
Sometimes it's Friday. Let's post next Friday.
No, I'm gonna do it today because today's Black fucking Friday, and everybody's got to know that we got these killer sales going on Body Spartan. We're giving 50% off. I'm just gonna run right into the plugs, so just forget it, man. I'm
If you
not gonna
haven't
talk about anything.
seen them, you really haven't lived.
Seen what? Our plugs?
Well, any of those things.
I don't think we are allowed to talk about that.
If
on
you
the
haven't
podcast.
seen, we're gonna edit that out,
the
right?
hate
Right?
truck.
Right? Tell me yes. I'm seeing the sales
the
because
sales.
50% off the programs, but I feel like that's ridiculous. But I think
It's
that's
Black Friday.
Great.
We can do this once a year. Well, the cool thing is
When
it's
I saw-
50% off Genesis, 50% off Unleashed, 50% off Revolution, and 50% off all the frickin' supplements. And you get free
and on
shipping.
some of those photos, Gabe's got his shirt off, so his clothes are 50% off.
This is true. This is very true.
You're welcome.
No, well, what can I say? Anyway, guys, head over to bodyspartan.com, grab
Was that
yourself
a
a program.
throat burp?
It was. Like I just drank coffee.
So
Kinda gargled.
awkward. Oh my gosh, it was like almost perfect. And then they're like, Gabe and Priscilla are so awesome, except for Gabe throat burps.
Sounds like a frog.
Or maybe it was Priscilla and we can't tell who throat burped because we could just only hear. We can't see.
Oh, can I get through this plug, please?
Oh, okay.
Shameless plug. Like I was saying, if you have not picked up our shredding program Genesis or our bulking program Unleashed or the ladies shredding program Revolution, head over to bodyspartan.com. This sale is good through Sunday night at midnight. I almost said specific time.
Specific, standard and specific time.
Eastern and specific time.
Eastern and specific time.
My iPod is chocolate.
But this is going to make a really good Christmas present for
will.
your girlfriend, for example, because she watches you go to the gym and she's like, oh, he's looking so good, girl. Like, I've been watching him and like, I kind of like want to get some booty gains like that. And she's going to get all jealous, but there's something for her too. Like there's something that she can have. And it's Revolution, and Revolution is awesome. And we've got this awesome community of ladies that have gathered together. We meet up on Facebook actually every day because we're crazy like that. But all these girls are crushing these programs.
Oh, you're talking about your private Facebook group that goes with anybody that buys a Revolution program?
Tell anybody.
Well, guess what?
Well, they don't know that it does until the day after when we divulge it. It's kind of like an extra bonus.
You know what? Guess what? You're not alone because the guys have their own private Facebook group when they buy Revolution or Unleashed or the Spartan Army.
Well, congratulations.
So go sit on a plug. Ha! I win. I win.
So what I was going to say before Gabe started getting derogatory is that it's very cute. Like these groups are awesome because we have this synergy. No boys allowed because boys are stinky.
Yeah.
And
It's called
snails
it's
and
called work.
puppy dog tails.
Hard fucking work, which is one of the topics of tonight.
So
by the way.
and then everything in the girls group is glitter. And glitter is awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you bored? Because I see that you're busy with your phone right now when we're having a conversation that was super fun a second ago. And I was just about to
gonna
say,
snap, but okay, I won't.
no, you were looking at your
It was an email. Okay, I'm going to turn it over.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
That's right. Okay, we have this rule on date night, and the date night rule is phones go in the phone pile. And Gabe wrote this rule.
This is my
I'm
rule.
not saying.
This is my rule.
And it's a little bit violent, but we're going to tell you what it is.
Whoever picks up the phone first gets punched in the face.
That's rude. That's unkind, but that is our rule, and we kind of love it.
She has all of her teeth, guys. Don't
Most
worry.
of them. Actually, no. Oh my gosh. Do you remember that time that you knocked my tooth out?
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't knock your tooth out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey, ready for story time? No, we're going to tell the story. Okay, so Gabe and I, like, flirtatiously.
Wait. Before you tell this story, I just want you guys to know we will get to the topic of the podcast today, which is no excuses.
Right.
But first,
So you're not going to get out of
we're going to
me telling this story.
sidebar to story time.
We're going
Go
to
ahead.
talk about the time that Gabe knocked out my teeth. All of them. No, okay, just one. But he did it. Who does that, right? Okay, so here I am with my handsome boyfriend, and we made a commitment. We're going to wait until we get married to kiss. Crazy, right? That's for another podcast. But we would
That actually
flirt
happened.
really, really hard. Like we would like, hee, and like, oh, tickle war, you know. And he's like, ha. No, but seriously.
Oh, is
like,
that how it was?
So I get really competitive with Gabe. It's kind of an issue. And I'm working through that in this life here.
Kind of an issue.
Okay. I really get competitive with Gabe. So there we are, like kind of flirtatiously tickling each other and like, hey, you know, that innocent little puppy love thing. And then finally, I realized this guy's really strong and he's kind of winning. And that kind of sucks because I kind of want to win. And so I kind of give him a right elbow, just like bam. And then he kind of gives me a little right elbow, bam. And so I give him a little jab and he gives me a little jab back and I go flying off the bed and I knock my face into the nightstand. And when I stand up, I'm missing a tooth.
Okay, wait. You weren't missing a tooth.
Half of a tooth.
You're missing half a tooth.
Okay. Oh. Here, let's just, okay.
And
so missing half of a tooth.
just happened to be her front left tooth. So it was fairly noticeable when she opened her mouth. It
Now,
looked
you
like she
guys-
was from frickin' Alabama.
We were not 6. I was 16.
Is that where that happens, Alabama? Where's Deliverance? Where was that movie from? Was it Alabama?
I would think, I don't know.
If you're in Alabama right now and this is making fun of you, I'm sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, but I was missing a tooth. Either way, snaggletooth. It was crazy.
Yeah, you were so snaggletooth. It was,
We actually took like probably like
Yeah, remember we-
1,600 photos of it.
Yeah.
And I would stick things in it like straw.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think I even put overalls on.
Dude, remember
just,
we
like,
were
for the
so
whole-
poor that we super glued it back in? We found it and we super glued it.
We were, yeah. We
Was
were
it super glue or was it nail
struggling.
glue? Like you had a...
It was nail glue.
It was
because I
an
would do those
acrylic.
like Lee press-on nails, and so I'd look all purty when I come over and visit. Because he was going to college in San Luis Obispo, he was at Cal Poly University. I was in San Diego, and so we would go and see each other every other
That's
weekend.
a 5.5 hour drive minimum.
Diligence, no excuses.
If you didn't hit traffic in LA.
So, anyways, Gabe knocked out my tooth. He's a terrible person.
Anyway, so
Purposely. No.
We were going to talk about what's new this week, but that kind of just covers everything. Actually, what is new this week?
Doesn't
What
it?
happened?
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. Okay,
I drug my hand across the bus as I went by it today on the bike.
loved it.
Like I was splitting lanes, guys. It was kind of trafficy, and there was one of those giant tour buses, you know, the big white ones, or sometimes they're black. Well, I just pulled up on the right, and there was just no cars, and I just, you know, gingerly buzzed by, reached my hand out, and drug my hand from one end of the bus to the
Actually, he's going 90 miles an hour. The bus has stopped, and he's like, "Not sorry."
That was the highlight of
And
my
then
day.
we got a ride together. That was incredibly epic.
The one this afternoon or the one later this afternoon?
Well, you had your ride by yourself,
But
and then wait, no. Oh. Oh, let's just talk about all the things. So, anyways,
how was everybody's Thanksgiving?
why
That's
are
what
you
I
guys
want to
getting
know.
all awkward?
Let's talk turkey
wait, no, seriously. Why did everybody get all quiet and awkward?
because we're.
Like, it's no
I
big
made a
deal. Like,
sexual
you and I don't
innuendo.
care. You and I don't care. Why'd you guys get all quiet?
So here's what I got to say about Thanksgiving. If you did indulge, good for you. If you did indulge, good for you. Because here's my thing. While many of you are running the Genesis plan, or you're running the Revolution program, or you're on Unleashed, whatever the fuck it may be, or you're just trying to stay in good shape, there are 2 days out of the year where you absolutely must throw that shit to the wind. It is Thanksgiving and Christmas. You have got to understand that unless you're a competitor for a bodybuilding contest or a fitness contest, there is no reason that you shouldn't live life a little bit. And I'm a huge
You're making my
advocate-
skin crawl right now. Ugh, why did you marry such an opinionated woman?
You shut your mouth.
Okay.
Snaggletooth.
Okay.
Fill out
I'm just
that.
kidding. Okay, we got it fixed. I'm just saying.
my idea. I'm commending anyone that, because I've been through Thanksgivings and Christmases where I have not indulged. But again, guys, I'm 39 years old, and I think I haven't done it all. Obviously, I'm not even halfway done with my life. Hopefully, But what I'm saying is that I've been through it. I've done it. I've stayed super lean. I've been on keto through Thanksgiving. I've done that. And it sucks, man. I'm a big advocate in the last, 5 years of living your life to the fullest.
We do.
None of us.
After my competitive schedule was over, we're like, let's live. Let's make sure that we live.
None of us are getting out of this alive. So drink the good wine. Eat the good food. Enjoy the finer things of life when you can. And make sure that you enjoy life. Now, that being said, if you guys went through Thanksgiving and you didn't fall off your diet or your nutrition plans, well, you're the fucking man or woman, because that's pretty damn commendable.
But look across the table right now.
I didn't see what you ate. Actually, Priscilla did not indulge in pumpkin pie or whipped cream.
And what was on my plate? Vegetables and turkey.
So you're going to be honest with everybody?
I drink scotch.
Are you going to be honest with everybody?
What?
What happened when we came home?
Gabe, we were going to switch the topics. Everyone got quiet last time.
What happened when we came home?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about
that.
that.
Made a massive thing of brownies.
But I had half of one. I had like that much.
No, I served you 2 giant ones.
But I didn't finish them.
You guys want to know something funny? Priscilla, when she eats brownies, she has to have them in a coffee cup. I don't know why.
It's like a teacup. It's like an adorable, dainty teacup.
It's a full-sized regular coffee cup that they get put in, and she has to eat them with a baby spoon. I'm not talking like this, you got the big spoon in your drawer and the little spoon in your drawer. I'm talking about one of Mia's baby spoons with a rubber on top of them. She has to eat them with that.
Are you going to throw me under the bus that you touched today? Or are you going to let me... What? What's the problem?
Move those away from the memory cards, the water? Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Oh, you don't want me to douse water with a memory card?
Thousands of dollars.
Why? Why?
And I'm dying again. I've got like something coming up on my lungs. It's been like 4 or 5 podcasts.
Okay,
now.
So don't die. We're all rooting for you.
All right, so Priscilla indulged in some brownies. So you can't say that you're perfect.
Well, not some brownies, little brown. Okay, so
no, they were full size fucking brownies.
But I had like that much.
You ate everything in the cup. You gonna lie to everybody on the podcast?
Okay, so is it possible that you might have misinformation?
No, because I was the one who washed the cup and put it in the dishwasher.
Is it possible that you might have misinformation?
Would you feed it to the dog?
Is it possible that you might have misinformation?
No, it's not.
Okay, so since Gabe knows everything.
I do. I'm omnipotent.
Of course. So.
You're mad. Yeah, look at she's mad. I wish you guys could see.
No, I'm not mad. Pissed. Just sometimes you know everything. And
she's pissed. She's so pissed at me right now. She's so pissed at me. I'm snapping this. Go ahead. Give the people on Snap your pissed off face. Because right now I called her out for eating brownies and she's mad. Mad. Anyway, enough about this shit. Let's talk about...
actually, we're gonna back up just a little bit. Because there is another side. We are peanut butter and jelly. And when it comes to Thanksgiving dinner, the environment, the people, that is living your life. Food is not living your life. Food is a tool. Do you disagree?
Dude.
Do you disagree that food is a tool?
I love food. Is that a Freudian slip? I love being a fool. I love food. Oh, you said tool, and then I mixed the words together. That's what I did.
I used to be in love with food.
I'm not in love with it. I'm just saying
food used to be an obsession with mine that made me start looking more like a muffin. And I realized that I was using it to find my happiness instead of generating my happiness and allowing food to be a part of that. Ooh. So that is a classic example. Let me just finish because you said your thing.
I was going to make a point on that too, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say that certain foods release serotonin that give you the happy feeling. It's almost like a drug.
Actually, it depends on how you feel, what state of mind that you're in when you eat that food.
I'm going to punch you in the other tooth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not allowed to add some scientific?
He's just getting snappy. Go ahead, please. Tell me more.
Okay, so you guys have to understand, like, this is like the passion of my life. Depending on how you feel about the food that you're eating, you will either release serotonin, like Gabe said, and you can release serotonin with cookies, or you can release serotonin with water. It depends on how you feel about what you're doing, what state of mind that you're in. If you're in a state of gratitude, that water is going to absorb so much better. If you're in a state of gratitude when you eat brownies, for example, you are going to metabolize it a lot faster. It's not going to sit on your body. If you're in a state of guilt or if you're concerned about contaminants in your water, your body will react differently. And we've done studies about how water reacts to emotion. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, that was easy for me because I feel like I want to set an example for our family and for my child. And when we come home and I want to eat brownies because we're eating brownies, I don't have a state of guilt over it. I keep myself at between 12 and 15% body fat all year round. And I feel like
Which for a female is pretty good.
It's very lean. I keep myself very lean. But I feel like so much of that is being consistent and not having an emotional rendezvous with food anymore.
Now that I can fully get behind.
There are moments.
I can fully get behind that. And I don't want you guys to misunderstand what I was saying. Is that food should be your comfort and to be, oh, this is great. This is what makes me feel good. And, or, my boyfriend just dumped me. I'm going to eat a gallon of Ben and Jerry's. Like, that's not it.
But you guys, that was me. And I wouldn't just like eat a gallon of Ben and Jerry's. I would go into the room where I knew that nobody would see me. And then I would eat a gallon of Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, you would sneak eat.
He calls it sneak eat. And it's
You still
playful.
kind of sneak eat every now and then.
I do. It's something that you are probably familiar with and something that you probably don't want to admit. And it is kind of funny. It is kind of silly. But what are we doing, you guys? Are we dealing with the issues? Are we growing? Or are we using food as a crutch to release that serotonin and make us feel a certain way? When really we're meeting it on the flip side where our insulin is spiked and we become depressed because we have a tank of the serotonin. And then we just want more to make ourselves feel better. So anyway, sorry to make it all serious.
No, it was a good point.
Sorry to make it all serious.
All I was trying to say is that I believe that there should be a balance in everything that we do.
It's so true.
But at other times, you're going to hear me say, be obsessed. I believe in obsession. I believe in, and this is going to segue right into tonight's topic about no excuses. If you want something, be obsessed with it.
You have to be.
Be the best. Eat, sleep, and breathe that shit. Make it every part of your waking routine. Be obsessed. If you want to be the number one fitness competitor in the world, you're not going to get there by doing it part-time. Or by partially giving it your attention. And this goes for anything. This isn't just about fitness. This is about anything. Whatever your drive in life, whatever your goal is, your passion, you have to be obsessed. You have to wake up thinking about it. You have to go to your day job thinking about it. And when you're doing your day job, and you should be paying attention to your day job, you should be thinking about it in the back of your head and going, when can I get back to doing this other thing that I love so much? How can I get better at it? When you're eating, you should be thinking about it. When you're sleeping, or last thing you do before you go to bed, you should be thinking about it. You should be dreaming about it. That is being obsessed. And if you want to be the best, if you want to be the 1% of the world in that category, you have got to be obsessed.
Have you drunk that in? Are you feeling the resonance of what Gabe's saying? Because there are two different kinds of obsession. There's that obsession where, okay, let's back up the bread truck a little bit. There's that obsession with that boy in school, and he freaking hates your guts and thinks you're a dork. This never happened to me, okay? It did a million times. And I'm like, oh, he's so dreamy. I just want to marry him. And he's like, you're scum, you're slut, you're crazy. What was the word? Psycho. And oh, your heart's so broken, but you obsessed.
That?
His name was Chase, the boy I loved.
Oh, Chase.
This is the boy that I liked. And I would run past his house. I was obsessed. I would eat, drink, sleep, Chase. And Chase was like, you're a loser. And like, you can just like keep on fawning all over me and I'm going to ignore you and make fun of you and whatever. Loved the boy. Okay. So there's that kind of obsession. It doesn't feel good and it's forced and it feels awful. Then there's the obsession that feels like when I first met Gabe. My entire world revolved around this man. It was as if the waves parted and my entire destiny was right in front of my face and I was a teenager. That obsession felt so good. It's like that feeling in like right underneath your chest, right in your upper stomach. Some people might know it as the solar plexus energy center. Your enoughness area, your self-confidence area. When you feel deep love or excitement over something, that's the spot that you're gonna feel it.
It's a
that
good
feels
obsession.
good.
It's not an unhealthy obsession. It's an obsession towards your goal. And what I'm trying to circle around to is that I was talking about balance and needing to have balance, need to enjoy your life. There's a time and a place for that. And the thing that I'm getting at is that Priscilla and we've been through this. We've met many, many goals with fitness. And with fitness, you have to be very obsessed and regimented. It's a freaking religion. Like, you get up in the morning, it's the first thing you think about. When your alarm goes off, it's like, boom, morning cardio. Get there, drink my shake, go take a shower, have my food. Is my meal prep done? Go to work, 3 hours, ding, eat my food, lunch break, eat my food, did I drink enough water? Oh, can't have that. This is the obsession. Now, that you got to be fucking obsessed with.
And
especially if you're doing fitness competitions like Priscilla's doing, or I'm sorry, was doing. Now, we've been there, we've done that. Our obsessions, I'm still obsessed with fitness. I still am, absolutely. But my current obsession is spreading the message of Body Spartan.
And I do want to hit on fitness before we go too far into...
We're not going to go past that, but I want to say that the balance is important. Because there have been times in our lives when Priscilla and I have been so driven and so obsessed that life slips by.
And that's what I want to touch on, because I want to bring it back into the real day, because everyone knows what it's like to feel in love bad and feel in love good. Here's how to obsess good and bad. Now,
and we still got to circle back to the actual topic too.
And we're going to circle back around, because it's like you got to be obsessed. Like he said, there are no excuses. So in my fitness competition days, I was what I consider myself to be orthorexic. And orthorexic is where you have all these crazy food rules and you will hurt anybody in your way in order to do them. My husband would take me out to dinner, and you know what I brought underneath the table, you guys? I would have my meal prep, and it would be perfectly portioned out. And I'd eat it, and I'd be like,
mad.
Kind of trying to be polite. A glass of wine that would just sit there, and him looking at me so supportive, so loving. And I was killing our relationship. Honey, let's go out and just meet up with some friends. Oh, babe, I can't. I got to be in bed by 9 p.m. because I got to be up at 6 doing my cardio. I let it rule my life. And that is called orthorexia. And you can go Google it, but not right now, because right now I'm preaching good. Now,
sounds like a toothbrush.
Orthorexia?
Yeah. Or toothpaste.
Well, it's kind of like...
it sounds like a geriatric toothpaste.
It's kind of like
toothbrush,
anorexia.
Sonic scrubber combination.
It is actually a legitimate food eating disorder.
I can see that.
Food eating disorder.
No, hang on.
So, but then
before you plunge on forward, I feel like this is good. Like this is where people need to hear this, because without this obsession, you wouldn't have taken the fitness world by storm the way you did.
But there's another side to this. There's another side to this, and I wish I'd known then what I know now. I remember curling up with my husband. I was gone on some sort of photo shoot, traveling, and I curl up in bed with him. And he said, I can't wait until you're just wrinkly, old, and gray, because then you will be mine, and I will feed you muffins all day.
I did say that.
And it was just such a sweet, and I was just not in that space, because I'm like, I'm going to knock out anything in my way, because I'm going to win all these shows. And I did win all those shows, but I was exhausted and I was not having fun, and it was terrible drudgery. And I did get those awards and all that. Now let's fast forward a little bit to the art of allowing. Now that's the obsession that feels good, because it is a drive from within. It is a passion. It is something that you understand you're doing something for a higher calling. It's something that means more. It's something that is more. That is what Gabe and I live our entire lives to do, is to pour into you, because we know that the message that we have will change your life. And that is why we are driven every single day to never make excuses and to push hard. So there's a feel-good kind and there's a not feel-good kind of obsession.
I like that little segue that you did there. That was awesome. And those
And you're
things are all true.
delicious.
Those things are all very true. And you got to decide. And it's nothing that I can tell you. No one can tell you what the right balance is, especially when it comes to deciding to indulge in Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas breakfast
But
or
your
New Year's Day
emotions
breakfast.
can gauge. Your emotions can gauge how you're doing. Your emotions can gauge how well you're staying on track.
Well, yeah. Yes.
But nobody else can tell you.
Thank you. That is exactly what I was reaching for there. I was trying to let everyone know. You have to experiment and figure it out. Again, if you're training for something very specific, dude, nail that goal. If this is your first time through on one of our programs or any program, and you've made that commitment to yourself, and you've said, for the next 12 weeks, I am going to be on it. I am going to swing this bat and knock that fucking ball out of Fenway fucking Park. If that is what you said to yourself, then guess what? You ain't eating Thanksgiving dinner. And you ain't eating Christmas pancakes on Christmas Day, unless, of course, your refeed day falls on those days. You are going all the way through. You are sprinting across that finish line because that is what's currently at hand. And when it's over and you've met your goal, then you can take a moment to relax, take a deep breath, refocus, recenter, decide where it is you want to go. Now, again, the topic is no excuses. And the reason I told Priscilla, we were sitting there, I was working on G2 tonight. And by the way, if you don't know what G2 is, it is the second Genesis coming out. It's targeted keto, functional training. It's 5 different types of training styles over 10 weeks. It's killer. I've been working on the videos. She's been helping me out. I was sitting there with P and I said, dude, we got a podcast, because I was looking at some stuff on the side. I was posting on Instagram, making sure I hit my times for Instagram, which, total segue, guys, no excuses. I get shit done. Like, you got to post by hand on Instagram. I got to manually do that. So every day it's very specific times. I'm posting on Instagram for the highest engagement. So I stop what I'm doing. I read the comments. I'm the guy that goes through and I check in on social media. I mean, I got Sean to do it. Howard does it too.
Why?
Priscilla
Because
does it.
we're obsessed with you, but obsessed
I want to
good.
know what's going on. But I see all the things. I see the things. And I see the things in our Body Spartan community group, the private Facebook group that if you're part of Genesis, Unleashed, or Spartan Army, or even the Big Iron Bible, we let you in this group. People say things like, or I'm just going to take a comment today that I got on Facebook. I don't like eating oatmeal and grits. What else can I do? And I'm like, wait a second. You want to get in shape. You're hitting us up for all sorts of questions, and you're hanging your hat on whether or not you like oatmeal and I don't even remember telling people to eat grits at any certain point or where they got this thing. And then another person was saying, I don't like this food or that food.
Stop whining.
Well, it was basically, I'm a picky
Where's
eater.
Howard
I don't know if I
when we
can do
need
this.
him?
Stop whining.
Stop whining.
Yeah, I can't do Arnold like Howard can.
No, nobody can do it like Howie.
Everybody down is a bomb. But the point is, I'm listening to potential success stories here. The people that are on the fence, but yet they go, I'm a picky eater. And that is the deciding factor as to whether or not they start a program that could possibly change their life. At this point, if they're looking at a program on our site, they are most likely not in the physical shape they want to be. And they are trying to make the decision to change. And this is the bullshit excuse that you make up to tell yourself you don't have to put in the work. And if you know me, you know I am all about putting in the work. Now, Peanut Butter and Jelly here is going to say it's not about work. We'll let her have her moment in just a minute.
There is work. There is work. That's not
Hang
what
on.
I'm saying.
Okay, hang on. You're going to have your moment in the sun here. But I'm going to say it is about the fucking work. And the excuses that you make up, that is what's holding you back. The bullshit excuse that you tell yourself so you can get out of doing the work. You can get out of your complacency. The comfort factor that you're in, the comfort zone that you're in of doing the same thing every day, of eating the same foods that taste so good and so yummy, and the brownies that I like every couple weeks. And the the yummy pancakes in the morning, and all this stuff that keeps you fat. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself if that's who you want to be. And if it's not, then you need to make a change. And guess what? Food you don't eat it for the sake of it tasting good anymore. Food is a tool to get you from point A to point B. That is what it is in the fitness industry. Who gives a shit what it tastes like?
Can I come in like Mama Bear to these sweet people?
I'm almost done, and you can have your moment in the sun.
He is so mean to you guys.
I'm
He's
not
like about to
mean.
knock out someone's tooth.
I am blunt. And
Tickle war.
I don't sugarcoat shit because the world sugarcoats everything. Everything you see on Facebook is so sugarcoated about, oh, we don't want to hurt feelings. Well, guess what? Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings.
No, we're going to hurt your feelings, but then we'll be beside you while you lick your
I'm
wounds.
dead. Nobody gives a fuck about your feelings in the real world.
Why is he being so real?
Hang on.
I love it.
Listen to me. Everybody listen to me. I want you to take your feels right now. I want you to pull them out of your fucking ass, wherever you hide them, put them in your hand, ball them up nice and tight, roll down the window in your car, and throw them out because nobody fucking cares. You can cry all you want on Facebook. You can make all the posts that you want on Facebook and IG and cry on Snap and say, oh, my toe hurts, and it's too cold to do my cardio today. Nobody cares because nobody is going to take care of you.
Actually,
except for you. Nobody. You are the only person that can make a change. You are the only person that can change your life. You're the only person that can take initiative and tell yourself that you are going to get across that finish line. That is what I'm getting at.
I mean, there is that audience that wants to hear that just so they have an excuse not to do it also.
Well, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Okay.
And they're like, yeah, that's another one that I can use.
In the universe, this is not a magnet. Positive attracts positive and negative attracts negative in the universe. But there is no excuse, guys, for putting in the work. Not liking oatmeal and grits or being a picky eater. Those are excuses.
And that's a rule.
That's a bullshit rule. A brule. I got to give credit where credit's due. That's Vishen Lakhiani who created that. Now, being a picky eater, somebody said something about that. And I just want to touch on that. Since when? And this applies to everybody because we all put labels on ourselves. Priscilla, you're well aware of this.
But probably your mom told you, you're so picky.
Somewhere.
And so you're like, oh, I'm picky.
When did
and
you
that's
decide
the little name tag that you wear around?
That you are a picky eater? When did you come to the conclusion that that's your genetic makeup?
Oh, it was probably mom or grandma.
You know what I'm saying?
Probably mom or grandma.
And suddenly
5
your
years
brain
old.
becomes wired to believe that you're a picky eater. Or how about the kids? When an adult says, hi, how are you? And the kid's 5 years old and the kid cowers backwards behind their parents. They go, oh,
so shy.
So shy. Kid ain't fucking shy.
Rude.
They're
kid is rude.
Because the parent didn't tell them to look that person in the eye, shake their hand, say, hello, I'm fine. How are you?
It's so funny because Mia used to do that. She was like 2. She'd like cower away and they'd be like, oh, she's shy. And I'm like, no, she's just learning to be polite. and she got over it really. I mean, it took a good 6 months. But I was like, you don't treat somebody that way. How do they feel? Anyways.
Well, what this boils down to is understanding that, and I'm just using food as an example here, guys, and one comment I read. So don't think this entire podcast is about being a picky eater.
Or schedules, or travel, or whatever. The thing is,
I'm not a morning person. Things like that. Could be anything.
The thing is, change is uncomfortable. And in order to progress in your life, you must change. You must get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And your inner critic's going to tell you, stay comfortable, stay safe. But the inner critic is wronging you. The inner critic wants to protect you and wants to bubble you and wants to just be like, let's play safe, let's play safe. But then again, what Gabe always used to tell me is every creature, what do you say, has like an innate like a desire to stay alive. What did you used to say? Because we used to, years and years ago, like 9 years ago, we used to kill spiders, like when they would come into the bathroom or come into the house or whatever. And you said, this doesn't feel right because every creature, what was that quote that you always used to
It was
say?
something, there's an innate nature to not die.
Survive,
yeah.
And so your inner critic is like, let's stay safe. Let's play small. Let's not try anything that might potentially be dangerous or harmful. And that's where your self-limitation is coming from. It's coming from listening to that inner critic, which is not your true being, which is not your true self, which is not your true power. It's listening to all the excuses and all of the reasons that you shouldn't progress forward so that you can stay the same, so that you can be like everybody else. But deep in your heart, you know that there's something so much more.
All right, this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about your daily routine right now. And I want you to think about what you do. And you guys know me. If you've listened to some of our podcasts, I will have you do this from time to time. So pull out a piece of paper if you're sitting at home. If you're at your computer or laptop, open up a Word doc or some sort of word processing thing. I don't know what they use on a Mac. I'm not a Mac guy. If you're in your car,
Notes? Is it notes?
pull over, get your notepad out on your Android or your iPhone, and I want you to write down what your daily routine is, what you do. You know, you get up. What do you do when your alarm goes off, guys? And this isn't a test. I just want you to realize what it is that you do. Get up, I do my morning cardio, or I don't do my morning cardio. Go to work. I come home. I go to the gym, or I don't go to the gym. I work my second job. I pick up my kid from daycare. You know, give me the basics of your day. And then when you're done writing down your day, what's your basic, from waking to sleeping, break it up in a couple of major bullet points so you can see what it is that you do. Now write down your month and go, okay, what happens? Are there any major things that happen every single month? Any major things that I got to do? Okay, cool. So you got a day view.
What would be an example of something in the month?
Oh, I don't know. Like we take a trip to see grandma, granddad or something like that, and in the next county. We have every second Sunday we go here and we do this. Or once a week we have family roller skating night. I mean, we don't do that. Or we go bowling, So
we have family dinner.
We do family dinner every Sunday with my parents. And if that can be your month thing, so cool. Every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, we pick a day, depending on every schedule. We go over there at 4. My parents make dinner. We split about 6:30, get Mia home for bed. So she's in bed by 7:30 and she's asleep by 8.
But there are routines there, you guys. Like, we dialed this in and we were able to see so much about our life.
So take a moment and write this down right now. And if you're listening and you don't do it now, you're going to miss the moment. You have to seize these opportunities because things like this, these are things that were given to me and I'm giving them to you. And these things change my life. When you have these, I want you to look at this and I want you to think, how many months have I done the same thing? And then I want you to think, how many years have I done the same thing? How many months have you been at your job? How many months have you been going to the gym, trying to change your physique with no success? Or with success? How many arguments have you had with your spouse?
Look at my
Routine.
notes.
Are they the same as mine?
Totally.
How many arguments have you had with your spouse on a month? Was it 3? Was it 2? Did I argue once a week with my spouse? What is the routine that you are in? And I want you to look and I want you to go, whatever that routine is, ask yourself, when was the last time I broke this routine and did something different?
Oh, I love this. I'm so sorry. I get so excited over this stuff.
When?
This is such a big deal.
Right now. Think about it. When was the last time you broke this routine and did something different? Did you go on a vacation? Did you switch jobs because you were sick and tired of whatever it was you're doing and you felt like you needed to grow and progress and do something different? Did you move because you had to or because you didn't have to? What was it? And if you haven't broken that cycle, you haven't broken the routine, let's look at this right now. Even if you have, why do we break the routines? Because we need to grow as human beings. We need growth. We need to progress in life and feel like we're progressing. And if we do the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, Einstein said that is the definition of insanity.
Get uncomfortable. So I used to have this thing that some people might describe as something called OCD, but let's not call it that. Gabe might call it that, but I don't call it that because I don't do labels. But anyways, had this thing.
You got fucking OCD. Okay?
No, I don't. You know what? Nobody will freaking label me. Not a doctor who has said I've had multiple things and magically healed from it. Nobody will label me. I refuse to be labeled, but
you're
I
the
might
girl
display some
who won't
things.
let only one of my legs touch during a certain act. It has to be both at a.
Ew.
Yeah.
Why do you keep circling
just
back
saying,
to
like,
things that are
you're-
making them be quiet? Like, listen.
The buzzer won't go off
Listen,
if
they're all
one
being
leg is
quiet when you.
kittywampus.
Oh, no, listen.
It's got to be perfectly touching each leg.
No, listen. They're feeling uncomfortable. See, listen.
No, you're feeling uncomfortable.
No, listen.
Crickets.
See,
Throat burp.
that was quiet. Throat burp. Throat burp. So I may have had these things that might feel a little OCD. So we lived on this beautiful house on the lake, and I always wanted to go to the right side and not to the left side. But you could go to the right side of the lake or the left side
Wait,
of the
who
lake
lived
and get
on
to our
a
house
beautiful house on the lake?
in Florida when we lived in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we always had to go on the right side. Why? I made up the excuse, I gotta see the ducks. I gotta see the ducks, oh, look at the ducks. And like sometimes really late, like there would be possums?
Oh,
Not
no,
possums.
those weren't possums. Those were armadillos.
Yeah, the armadillos.
Armadillos,
They have,
man. Those things are awesome.
But they have the little army thingies on them, like the little.
They're armor.
Yeah, armor.
it's like a
they're
shell
they're
of armor.
amazing. So I would make up these excuses because in my brain I'm like, we have to go to the right side. We have to go to the right side. And one day he just whips this left. And I was like, no, don't do it.
Did you open the door of the car? Did you freak? I can't remember. I feel like you.
No, I probably should have.
There
I
was
don't know.
one
I
time
was
you opened the.
freaking
Oh no! It was
out.
when we saw the armadillo. That's what it was, and you wanted to jump
Jumping
out.
out. Oh my gosh, I love animals. So he took a left, and I'm like, why would you do that? Did you not hear me say I want to take a right? Because I would request, oh honey, can we please go right every single time? And he's like, you've got to get uncomfortable. You've got to snap out of this routine of like needing things to be a certain way. And then he busted that same trick with me at the restaurant too, because we always like to sit in the same seat every single time, and he sits
Or
one
on the
way and
same
I
side of
sit.
the
So one
table.
day he's like, let's just sit at a different table. We're gonna sit at a different table, and he insisted that we'd sit over there. And oh my gosh, have you seen the size of my husband? I just really don't argue with him, but I was pissed. Oh my gosh. But getting uncomfortable opened up the conversation we were having, gravitated us towards new people that we hadn't been interacting with. I mean, it's like you don't know what's on the other side of uncomfortable.
Well, think of it this way: if you continue to do the same thing you've always been doing, how's that going for you?
Right?
I mean, really, how's that going for you? Do you still look the same way you looked a year ago, as far as your physique? Because this is a fitness program podcast. We're gonna talk about that. How's the gains? Are
As
you
if they're
still
like an own personal
are
entity.
you still overweight and not super shredded? Or better, hey, how's the monthly income? Hey, how's that business going you were going to start? You did that, right?
You totally remind me of like a grandma that's called that hasn't like seen you in a year or something. And they're like, so how's the gains?
How's the gains? I'm sure. Nice.
How's that going? Still arguing on the same day of the week with your wife? Okay.
The point
is,
it is uncomfortable to do something different that puts you and your comfort factor at risk. And the biggest comfort factor that most people have is that it will affect their family or their finances. And as you know, here on the Body Spartan podcast, we talk about fitness, we talk about life, and we talk about fucking finances. Because it financial freedom and not worrying about where your next paycheck comes from, when you get there, it's an amazing feeling. Stress levels go down. Most couples, studies have shown, most couples argue about finances. That's the number one thing they argue about. And what I'm getting at is that...
And family.
And family. Yes.
So like your kids, your brother, your parents.
Put your mouth on the mic.
It keeps drooping.
The mic's a little flaccid tonight.
I know.
Priscilla, you're losing your touch.
I know, I guess so. Oh, nope, that's firm.
That's not the microphone, hon.
But one of the biggest reasons...
I thought that was hilarious.
One of the biggest reasons that we're uncomfortable with getting uncomfortable is because of the uncertainty. I mean, like Gabe said, what's going to happen? What is life going to look like if I get uncertain with my life? But then there's the judgment from others, which he gently touched on.
Gently. I have a very gentle touch.
So what are others going to think? What are others going to say? We talked on our last podcast about losing friends.
Fuck what other people think.
It sucks, though. It sucks to lose friends. We get that. But maybe they're not the ones that are supposed to be in your life when you are on the way to where you're going. Because if they stay, you need to let them stay. And there are people on the other side that are waiting for you. They are rooting for you. We're rooting for you.
Let's talk about no excuses and the fact that we have to be uncomfortable to progress.
That we need
It's
to get uncomfortable or
birthing
get
pain.
comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Because I think there's a misconception out there about you and I. I see it because we're talking about what I see on the comments on Facebook and IG and Snap and stuff. And people, well, always got trolls and haters. They're, the more successful you are, the more people come out of the woodwork and they shit on you.
I have no haters.
I don't have any haters. Bring it.
Zero.
Motherfucker. What I'm getting at is that they think,
You know you love it.
All you do,
know you love it.
if I could just work out all day, I'd look just like you. Well, guess what? I wasn't always like this, and I earned it. I worked for this. There was no, and here's my no excuses.
And you know what I have to say to you? You're horrible. Horrible. No.
They can't hear you because you're a mile away from the mic.
I didn't want to scream it into the mic.
For the last 5 minutes, guys, I've been telling her to eat the mic. Your lips should touch the microphone. Literally. You're good at things touching your lips.
I wish you guys could see how adorable I'm being right now. Next month.
What I'm getting at is that for anybody that doesn't know, I did the corporate thing. I graduated from college with the Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. I have a major in hydrology and a minor in structural engineering. I can design a fucking bridge and a building, okay?
But it eats his soul. But it ate his soul a little bit.
Yes, it ate my soul. I worked at a company called Post Buckley Shoe and Jernigan, PBS&J, for 5 years. They were great to me. They staffed me, so they had what's called an extension of staff.
First job out of college.
Cities that didn't have a full engineering staff, they would send us there as like pretty much permanent, semi-permanent employees. So I worked at the city of Dana Point for 5 years. And for those of you that don't know, Dana Point is one city south of Laguna Beach. It is where Doheny Beach is. It is where the Headlands is. It's where Dana Strands is.
So it's heavenly.
The Beach Boys sung about, Doheny Beach all the time. It's beautiful. And then we lived in San Clemente, which was the next city south, just north of Camp Pendleton.
And for a little while,
boys out there,
Capistrano Beach.
We lived in Capo Beach for a while too, which is
amazing. It's just all amazing.
The point is, it was eating my soul. And I would literally look outside and like, it was kind of, there were some cool aspects to it because the city engineer, Matt Sinacori, he was a surfer as well. And so, I would try to surf 2 or 3 times a day. I'd surf before. And here, want to talk about being obsessed. I loved surfing. It was my passion. I would get my ass up at first light and my butt would be in the water, whether it was fucking 50 degrees outside in 50-degree water, or if it was nice and warm in the summertime. First light every day, I would be in the water at the pier.
And then
I would, when I was done, even if I surfed for 35 minutes, I caught a couple waves. I was good. I would hose off, and they have these like showers you stand under. I would literally strip down in my wetsuit, hose off. I'd have my clothes pre-ironed the night before, hanging in the car before I went. I would throw on my slacks, my shirt, my tie, and my good shoes, and I would have sand in my socks. And I would go to work dripping wet.
And like talk about
loved it.
obsession. Have you ever like started the water and actually gotten in? No, you don't. You stand outside the shower until it's warm enough to get in.
Yeah,
Being obsessed is jumping in the ocean before it warms up because it never warms up.
No, it
the guy's
doesn't.
crazy.
Yeah, well, I had a wetsuit, but the shower outside, that's not heated. And it's still 50 degrees outside.
But still, have you jumped in freezing cold water in a wetsuit? It is so cold.
Yeah,
like
it's
your
cold.
toes
to where
freeze
you can't
off.
move your fingers or your toes.
And you get an ice cream headache in your
But then
ears.
I would surf at lunch with Matt. We'd sneak out for 2-hour lunches because he was the boss and we could do whatever we wanted. And then I'd come home, kiss you, say, hi, thanks for dinner. I'm going out for a sunset session.
And
That's
I would
being
pack
obsessed.
him sandwiches and all sorts of beautiful foods. He would not eat it because he wouldn't get out of the water. Obsessed.
That's obsession.
But that's the good kind
How
of obsession.
good did I get at
He
surfing
loved
in
it.
the 4 years I did it?
He was brilliant. He was competing.
Amazing.
He was amazing.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but for a dude that's 6'3" and I
I
was
would toot your
230 at the
horn.
time, I kicked some fucking ass. Now, all this to say that it was eating my soul. I would look out the window every moment that I wasn't in the water. I just like, dude, I don't want to be in air conditioning. I want to be outside. I'm stuck. There has got to be more to life than this 40-hour-a-week job where they're expecting me to put in 60, 70 hours a week. And no matter how much time I put in, I don't make any more money. I mean, I make a little bit, I make a little OT, but like I'm not making leaps and bounds. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe in 5 years, they'll give me a promotion. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be old by then. Well, fuck this. And one day I went to Priscilla. I said, babe, I can't keep doing this, but I have an idea. And here is how I just found the way out. For anybody that wants to know how it all started, I ran the permitting counter at the city of Dana Point. It was my job for the Public Works Department to issue permits. And I would see people come in to build these massive tracts of homes, or just the average person trying to, this beautiful lot, they want to build their home and want to do something, but it was just a big clusterfuck there. They would have to go through planning and building and all these departments. And literally, dude, we're like one cubicle apart. And people are like, no, you got to go over here. No, you got to go over there. And like, you could just tell them, just bang on my cubicle. I was the dude that was nice and just went and, rubbed shoulders there. Be like, hey, I got a guy here, need some help. You got those plans? And I remember Robert would be like, oh, yeah. And I remember one time he had a stack of plans a mile high, and he looked like, oh, yeah, they're down in the bottom. I totally forgot about them. I'm like, bro, dude, could you hook me up? Can you do them for me? He pulled them out. He did them right there. This person was so happy. They were able to start building their house, and I saw an opportunity. And when you see opportunities, you got to seize them, guys. I knew every developer, every builder in the city. And guess what? There was a master database at Dana Point. So I downloaded that damn database into an Excel spreadsheet, and I emailed it to myself. And I said, P, I'm going to give my 2 weeks. And she's like, okay, what are we going to do? I said, I'm going to be the middleman for these guys. I know everybody at the city of Dana Point. I know every process. I can save these developers 6 months to a year. And if you think about how much a developer pays for their property, what's a mortgage on an average home nowadays? $2,300? Well, imagine a $10 million lot on the beach. What do you think their mortgage is? And if they can't build on it for a year, that's a lot of double mortgage they're paying. So if I can get them done in 3 months instead of a year, I am their best friend. So I left and I printed. What did we print out? Like 300 letters, and we licked all the envelopes till our tongues tasted terrible. We just had papers everywhere. And it was a note saying, hey, I'm leaving. I'm going to be your best friend. I will make sure that your shit goes through super fast. And that's what I did. I found a way to do it. And it was scary. It made me very uncomfortable.
But before any of this started, you guys want to know what he did? He started feeling it within himself that he didn't belong there. He started feeling his soul wither within his chest. And you know what that guy did? He came home and he's like, I want dreadlocks. I'm like,
that's
you're
when it started.
insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're crazy. You are insane. And he's like, I want dreadlocks. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I am a caged lion. I'm in a cubicle and this is not who I am. This is not what I'm supposed to be. And I'm like, all right, so I guess we're doing dreads.
Well, it wasn't
And
that easy. It wasn't that easy because you're just like, those are gross and dirty and blah, blah, blah. And so what I started to do is I took my little short hair that was like 2 inches long and I baby rubber banded them all together. Remember I had 100 little froey little things sticking out of my head?
Wait a minute.
Remember I did that?
You hit your head for a living for 5 years with WWE. Actually, I was incredibly supportive. And I sat there for 15 hours.
You
separating them per... you did do it before.
Yeah, remember I had the little tiny things?
They looked so weird.
They did look, they're totally weird. And it was uncomfortable and everybody stared at me. But I was like, you know what? That was the moment. And I'm like, I don't fucking care.
So, but when I realized that he wanted to do this, he tried the rubber bands for a couple days as like a little trial run. We sat down and for 15 hours, I dreaded his hair and he looked like freaking Snoop Doggy Dogg for a year and a half. And then he had his dreadlocks. They were little baby dreads.
I had to bobby pin them back to go to work.
Because they were like doing, doing. They were coming out of everything. And now they're down to his butt and all of our memories are in there. But he did that first because he wanted to start feeling more like who he was.
And I felt uncomfortable going into work. My blood was warm. I remember sweating going in. I'm like, what are they going to think? Oh no, my secretary's going to think it's weird. I'm like, am I going to get fired? I'm like,
and she's like,
and then I thought,
she's still like our biggest advocate.
Jody? I love Jody.
She's still, actually, she lost like 60 pounds with us.
She did great. But what I'm saying is that it was scary. When I left, it was scary. Like, I gave my 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm out. But I didn't wait. I didn't sit on my butt. I didn't collect welfare. I didn't wait for the government to give me unemployment.
He never waited for handouts.
I moved, guys.
I mean, even when I didn't have 15 hours to put his dreadlocks in, he found a way to rubber band. There are no excuses. There were no waiting for anybody.
Eating. The thought of failing and not having food on my table drove me. And I did everything in my power, and it worked. And I worked from home. And I worked good hours, and I surfed when I wanted to. But I did the work. Don't get me wrong, guys. The work got done. And there was lots of it. And when there wasn't a backlog, I went and I made a backlog because I made phone calls and I did this shit. And then when all that was said and done, guess what? That's when WWE came in. And I got this random opportunity. And I looked at Priscilla because she had built her personal training business. She had built Exclusive Fitness, owned the gym, owned the personal training center, sunk everything into that. We got comfortable again because all the money was coming in. And I said, I'm going to go be a wrestler.
But we're always,
right, let's go.
We're always honest, right?
Always.
We're comfortable now. We are really freaking comfortable, you guys.
We've had this conversation very much recently. Yeah.
We have
time for a change.
A delicious little home. We have such a comfortable little life where his mother helps us with our baby. We know where everything is. I've got a beautiful place to meditate outside. We've got a little gym down the street. We've got our friends. We are comfortable. And we are ready to get uncomfortable again. I almost shaved a mohawk this morning. I'm like, what am I doing?
So cool.
We cannot be like this anymore. Like, we can't live like this anymore. It's time for change. And change is happening. And so I'm just going to warn y'all because we love you. You're our family. You're an extended family. But things are going to change. We're going to mix things up.
So what's your excuse right now? That's really what I'm getting at. What is your excuse?
And how do you need to get uncomfortable?
Because you can't stay comfortable. You just can't.
Screw uncertainty. Screw what they say.
The only person that can make a change in your life is you. It's absolutely. Are you teetering on doing a program with us? Are you one of those guys that looks like, oh, those guys are all on steroids? Guess fucking what? We're not all on fucking steroids. I just went to David's fucking natural Olympia contest. So take that fucking excuse and throw it out the door. And guess what? If everybody else in the fucking gym is on gear and you're not, is you going to use that as an excuse? Or are you going to look and go, fuck, I can do anything. Because I'm goddamn Superman. You have to have belief in yourself. There are no excuses for you to get up every morning and go to work. You do that. You don't make excuses. You get up, you go because you got to put food on your table. You got to pay your car payment. You got to pay those credit cards off because you're spending more than's coming in.
And please take so seriously what Gabe said about the daily routine. What's working? What's not working? What's causing conflict? What's pushing you forward? Things have got to change, and they've got to change regularly. You have to get comfortable with getting uncomfortable.
So you have no excuses for getting up and going to work. You don't make excuses for that because it's necessary. for you to be in your comfort zone, for you to put food on your table, for you to pay your car payment and have the things that you're comfortable with. But you're never going to have the things that you really want unless you do something that is uncomfortable, because it jeopardizes those things that you're comfortable with. And there has to be a point. And this is why so many success stories come from people that have hit rock bottom, when they have nothing to fucking lose, when they are dead broke, when they're living in the gutter, or they're borrowing money from their parents like we did, because I didn't know I was going to pay my rent. I borrowed money from my parents at 34 years old. Embarrassing. Humiliating. Thinking about moving home with my parents at 34 because I failed. No excuses to get to work and get the things you're comfortable with. There should be no excuses for being comfortable. You should be uncomfortable all the time. Those things you want, those things that you sit there and dream about, they're not just going to suddenly appear. And for those of you that are like, you know what? There's a magic fucking pill out there, and I'm just waiting for them to make it, or the next diet pill, or the next fat burner. Guess what, guys? There are no fat burners anymore. They're just caffeine and stimulants. Ephedra's banned. That's gone because it eats away at the inner lining of your heart. T3, which controls your thyroid and raises your basal temperature, that needs a prescription, and it fucks up your thyroid if your thyroid's working okay. Clenbuterol, which is an asthma medication, that needs a prescription as well. But guess what? Makes your heart beat hell fast, and it's super dangerous. There's a ton of other, like, get it? There is no magic pill. There isn't a magic pill. And guess what? If we're looking at finances, why would you waste your money on the fucking lottery? I know so many people that play the lottery in hopes that they're going to win. What is it? You got like a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice than you do of winning the lottery? Imagine if you put that energy and that hope into something else, into actually furthering yourself. Imagine if you just said, fuck it. I'm going to make my own lottery. That's what I did. I said, fuck it. I'm going to find a way. For those of you that are comfortable, 3 square meals a day. You may scrimp and save for, but you got it. You're comfortable.
But I've always had 3 meals a day.
Have you ever gone without it? What's the worst that could possibly happen? Most of you have a skill, whether it's working at Starbucks or fast food joint or retail, or maybe you got a college degree, maybe you got a corporate job, you got a skill. The worst that could happen is you try something, you fail, and you go get another job somewhere else doing the same thing. It's not like the workforce ain't hiring. Employment rate's good right now.
And you look at us, you think we're successful. We're the fail experts.
Oh, come on.
We were just like, oh my gosh. We're actually going through finances right now. We're like, ooh, that failed. Ooh, that failed. Ooh, that failed. But how many things worked out? You've got to take chances. You've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Let's be point blank honest with everybody right now. Our margins this year for Body Spartan were thin. The year before they were good. This year they're much thinner. But we tried a whole hell of a lot of stuff. And a whole hell of a lot didn't work. And those whole hell of a lot of things cost a whole hell of a lot of money to get them done.
Actually, the thing that I'm playing with my hands right now reminds me that when you reach for the moon, sometimes you catch a star. I'm holding a piece of a star, a fallen star, in my hand right now. And it's just like a planet that exploded or whatever, and like a piece of it flies to Earth. And
she's holding a Moldavite in her hand. And so a Moldavite, back in, I think it was the 50s, a very large meteor hit somewhere in Germany. And when it hit, what happens is basically the heat from the meteor, right before it touches down, when it's, millimeters away from the ground, particles of the meteorite fuse with particles of the Earth, and it creates this substance called Moldavite, which is it's a mixture of extraterrestrial material from the meteorite and a mixture from terrestrial material from the Earth.
But really, it's a piece of substance that came from space. Okay, no big
probably
deal.
Light years away.
But it's basically a fallen star, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have reached for the moon my entire life. And I've been grasping at it, and I didn't get it, but I got a star. I've got a star. And here I am holding it in my hand, realizing that I'm limitless. Realizing that how much closer was I to the moon because I'm holding this right now. What are your plans? What are you supposed to do?
And let's touch on that really quick before we close this thing up. Because you need to understand the amount of work that is necessary. Things that are worth attaining take work. Anything worth attaining.
Your water is super loud.
Easy. I know. I've got ice in it. I'm thirsty.
We got ice water. We got ice water.
Cotton mouth. I'm trying not to make sticky mouth sounds. Anything worth attaining never came easy. So you got to work for it. So if there's something you want, we posted something on Instagram today about that. Mm-hmm. You got to work for it, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to take effort.
But the effort can feel good.
That's fine.
It can feel good.
But what I'm getting at is, what is your excuse for not doing it? Because there should be no excuse. If there's something you want, our time here is so short. It's so limited. Why would you waste another day not going after the things that your heart truly desires? Whether it's, I don't give a fuck if it's, superficial. I don't care if it's, I want this house or I want this or I want that. Cool. Okay, good. Let's go taste all the finer things in life. Experience everything that life has to offer. If life is so short, why would you not go out there and do it? Why? So it takes effort. If you want to change your physique, you want to look in the mirror and be confident about yourself, and you want to be desired by the opposite sex or maybe the same sex. It is 2017. We're a non-binary podcast, as Howard likes to say. It's okay. Being desired and wanting to be desired by the opposite sex or same sex, it's normal. It's totally normal. And there's nothing wrong with that. It makes you feel good. It's confidence. If you want that, well, guess what? You're going to have to set your alarm a half hour early or maybe an hour early. And you're going to have to turn off the TV because it's time to meal prep on Sundays and Wednesdays or Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Sacrifice.
It takes sacrifice. But what are you really sacrificing? Are you sacrificing, are you losing a limb? No. Are you sacrificing your firstborn to some satanic ritual? No. Most of the time, you're turning off the fucking TV. You're breaking your comfort factor. You're getting out of the comfort zone. I mean, the fucking American public is so hooked on television and media and the goddamn phone. You just turn it off for 2 seconds and realize there is more to life than media. Even though that's how I talk to you guys and Priscilla talks to you guys and we use all these channels, there's a time and a place for it. The time and the place to live life and accomplish your goals happens when those things are turned off and they're out of reach. You got to meal prep. That's going to take some sacrifice. You're going to have to carve out time to go to the gym. There's no way around it. You can do an in-home program, sure, and we're working on them. Girls, a little different for you. We're still working on the in-home program. Guys, yeah, you can do it. I mean, if you really want to get shredded, you want to have that poolside body, dude, you got to get a gym membership. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Spend the money, get the gym. This is the lesson I learned, by the way, with everything. Things that cost money are usually worth it. There's a fee associated with certain things, a premium associated with certain things and services, because it's worth it. Building business. When I did it, my old business partner was very frugal. Didn't like to spend any money on anything. Liked to do the free route. Well, that's great in the beginning, but guess what it got me? When I started going enterprise, a whole bunch of headaches that I'm still dealing with because I was using a free shopping cart plugin. And we built the entire system off that. And it fucked me 10 times over because I wouldn't pay $29.99 a month to use the better system. How stupid is that?
I mean, I'm going to admit, sitting next to your side, I am really by the book when it comes to money. And when you spend money on things, I kind of freak out. You are always right.
It's the cost of doing business.
You've got to pay to play. You have to pay to play. If you want to make $10, you got to spend $5, and so on.
That's a good ROI.
I mean, that's one thing that I've learned from you.
Yes.
But
yes. Don't be afraid to spend money for success.
I mean, I'm sitting here and
get a return on it.
We're not using notes, which freaks me out because I'm by the book. And you're like, let's just freestyle. Let's just go as we go, whatever. Here's what I'm hearing, because I'm learning and your message is really touching my heart. And what I'm hearing is just kind of like a synopsis of this whole entire conversation is mix up your daily routine. Look at what you're doing every single day. Are you taking the time to meal prep? Are you taking the time to go to the gym? Are you sitting down to watch TV at night? Or are you going back to the office and making your future dream happen after you've been at work all day long?
Or are you cracking up the laptop and doing it on your couch instead?
Or are you getting drunk by 5 p.m.? And you're just we are not judging.
No.
Because I know that a lot of you are coming from different struggles.
Because on the way to Vegas, we were drunk by 8:30
a.m. But
that broke the cycle.
And are you driving to work pissed off at the car in front of you, or are you listening to our podcast? Are you listening to an audiobook that is causing you to grow?
Where do you expend your energy?
So looking at your daily routine, you're going to see the areas that need to change. And that's at least my take home from what you've told me, because it's touched my heart deeply. I'm going to do the assignment that you're giving to them. Mix up your routine. You write down your daily routine.
Not just mix. Okay, so let's be very clear, because I know that you understand what I'm getting at. But for everybody listening, this isn't just mix up your routine.
Not at random.
It doesn't mean, shuffle the deck and, hope you draw some new cards. This is very strategically decide, I'm going to do something totally different. I'm going to, like Priscilla, like you said, do I come home and crack open a beer and sit and watch the game? Fuck
but
sports.
I do that every night.
I'm going to say it right now. Fuck sports.
But it's comfortable.
You know when the last time I watched a basketball game or a football game or pro wrestling was? Fucking can't remember. I can't remember because I don't got the time to sit down.
But it's routine, but it's comfortable. But my wife expects me to grab a beer and sit down next to her, but my kids expect this and blah, da, 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 da.
Who fucking cares?
Get uncomfortable.
What did I say? Nobody cares about your fucking feelings. If you want to change, turn that fucking TV off. Pick up your laptop and go to work.
Dude, I have a phrase.
Pick up your guitar.
It is like total life optimization. It's like looking at everything that you do every single day and say, hey, is that working for me? No. Is that working for me? Yes, more of that. Less of this.
But the routine change, the mix-up thing, strategically.
Checks and balances.
Decide. Make a plan and change. If you are not, you want to get into a bigger home, how are you going to do it? What are you going to do to get more revenue coming in? How are you going to make that happen? Let your brain do some thinking right now. How are you going to make that happen? You want to get into a bigger home. You need more revenue because you need to pay the mortgage. Or maybe it's not about having a home. This is 2017, almost 2018. Maybe you're about to sell all your shit and go travel the world and actually experience.
Goodbye, love you, meet you there.
Peace, guys, go. What do you need a home for? I mean, fuck it.
We just came to the realization today that it doesn't matter where we hang our hats because we are going to travel. We're going to go places, we're going to experience, and wherever we hang our hat, okay, we hang our hat there.
I hope you understand that the entire theme of this podcast, the No Excuses, was me intending to just fucking get rid of all this sugarcoating shit that's going on. Because everybody around you is going to sugarcoat stuff for you. Your friends are going to sugarcoat them. And by the way, those friends that sugarcoat shit, you should limit your time with them. Because they're not helping you, man. If you listen to the last podcast, we talked about how to figure out who's helping you and who's not helping you and who to get rid of in your life. Dude, the ones that sugarcoat, dude, limit your time with them. They could be good friends, but limit your time with them because you need to find friends like me that don't sugarcoat it. I'm probably not your friend.
I mean, you don't need to be a jerk like Gabe, but wait, I'm not saying that you're a jerk.
I'm not a jerk.
Jerk.
I just
cool
put
jerk.
it like it is.
Cool jerk. No.
Sometimes people need a kick in the ass. A wake-up call. And this is exactly what this
With
podcast
these
is.
Steel-toe boots?
With those steel-toed boots you're wearing. They need a fucking wake-up call. They need somebody to kick them in the ass or in the head. Slap you inside the head so hard that you feel your teeth vibrate and chatter and you wonder if you chipped a tooth in the process. That is what people need sometimes. That's what I'm trying to give you.
And as you know, Gabe likes to chip people's teeth. Because... Just gotta circle back around.
When I'm in the
you
zone,
love it. Put your hands up because you love Scylla.
When I'm in
Everybody
the zone
loves
and you do
Scylla.
that comedic interjection, I
You
swear
love
I'm gonna
it.
take my powerlifting shoes and shove them so far down your throat.
It won't hurt as hard as my steel toe boots. I'll hurt you so hard. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, now I've lost my train of
As
thought.
you were, it was delicious.
The point is, wake up. Life is not as long as you think it is. It's fleeting and it goes by quick. And as you get into routines, it goes by even faster. So I'm asking you right here, right now, before I close this podcast, what is it that you want to do with your life? And how are you going to make a change in your daily, monthly, yearly routine? How are you going to make it happen? I'm asking you right now. Right here, right now. How? And if you don't know how, that's okay. Just know the what. Know what it is you want to do, and the how will happen, because you're going to go sit. You're going to know exactly what you want. You're going to visualize. You're going to work backwards. No fucking excuses. Go get it.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.